All right, guys, welcome to the problem solving section. I hope you did okay on the independent practice. But let's take a look at the problem solving now. And the first one we're looking at is problems number 9 and 10 on page 231. And your book has some really cool pictures and stuff like that of this number line. But here's an example of it that I've drew. And so what we have here is we have a number line from 0 to 6. Each whole number represents 1 mile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles journeys across. Home base is your campground. That's 0. And then as you travel on, you get to the ranger station, you get to the rock formation, then you get to a lake, and finally to a waterfall, basically saying how far away from the campground are these various spots. All right, so here's our first question. How many miles from the campground is the ranger station? All right, campground, ranger station. I want you to pause this video, figure out how many miles it is. I think you may be using some mixed numbers here. And when you think you have the answer, come on back. All right, let's take a look. The campground is at 0. You haven't gone anywhere. Ranger station is right here. It's right in the middle between 1 and 2 miles. So if you journey out, you're walking away. You've gone half a mile. You've gone a complete mile, but you're not there yet. So remember, you've already gone 1 mile. Now you're going to go 2 more sections. But what do the sections represent? Well, let's take a look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 individual sections, equal sections for every mile. So you've gone 1 mile plus 1, 2 of the 4 sections going towards the 2 miles. So you've gone 1 mile and 2/4. So you've gone 1 and 2/4 miles. And if you're already thinking this too, you can also say you've gone 1.5 miles, right? Because isn't this right in the middle of 1 and 2, halfway there? So you could say 1.5 miles. That works also. All right, let's take a look at number 10. Number 10 says, what is 3 3/4 miles from the campground? I want you to try to figure that out. When you think you have the answer, pause this video and then come on back. All right, let's see. 3 3/4. There's another mixed number. 3 whole miles plus 3/4 of another mile. All right, so I'm going to change my color here. We'll go green. All right, campground, right here. Let's go 3 miles. 1, 2, 3 miles. Now we have to go 3/4 more. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Looks like you've made it to the lake. It's time to go swimming. Woohoo! All right, guys, let's take a look at number 11 in problem solving. I've tried to recreate a little bit of this for what you see in your textbook here. You've got just a section of a ruler that has centimeters on it. And so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters. This is blown up. This is much larger than centimeters would normally be. But in your book, that's the appropriate size for in your book. You also have a map of Iceland. And it says here there's a fact about Iceland. It says the shore of Iceland, that's the beach basically, where the water meets the land, grows between 2 and 3 centimeters each year. That means that the water is receding, going lower, and you're getting more land. So every year, their beach, their shore grows between 2 and 3 centimeters each year. Now the question you're asked to find out is right here in number 11. It says, which letter on the ruler, A, B, C, or D, could represent the number of centimeters that the Iceland's shore grows in a year? So I want you to reread this, take a look at it, pause it. When you think you have the answer, come on back. All right, let's take a look here. It says it grows between 2 and 3 centimeters. So between, that's the key word right there, between 2 and 3 centimeters. So we look up here for where 2 and 3 is, and well, I see 2 and I see 3. So I'm going to look between 2 and 3, and wow, which letter is between 2 and 3? Bing, 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 bing. C is between 2 and 3. And let's take a look. What if for that year, this is how much the shoreline grew? How far is that? Well, let's take a look here. If we could look at this as being divided up into halves, because we could look at the main black lines here and say there's 2 parts per hole. So we could say it is 2 holes, 2 centimeters, plus 1/2, 2.5 centimeters for that year. All right, congratulations, guys. You're on your last problem for problem solving today. It's going to bring us back to multiplication here. Let's take a pause from fractions. It's asking, basically it's presenting you with a multiplication problem with a number missing. Remember, multiplication, these two factors, when you multiply them together, you're going to get a product, total amount. Remember that the first factor in a multiplication problem represents the total amount of groups or rows there are in an array. The second factor represents the amount of things that are inside the group or in the row. So we're being asked how many groups there are of 8, or how many rows of 8 do you have that will provide you with a product of 56. And they've given you 4 choices. Should there be 8 groups, 7 groups, 6 groups, 5 groups? Or 8 rows, 7 rows, 6 rows, or 5 rows to get you 56. Figure that out. Pause the video. When you think you have the answer, come on back. All right. I don't know how you figured out the problem. There's a couple ways for me to go about doing it. I like groups, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I know I need at least 5 groups because it doesn't give you any other options below that. So let's see. Here's a group of 8. Here's another group of 8. Here's another group of 8. And another group of 8. And another group of 8. I've got myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 8. If I use my skip counting skills or my repeated addition skills, I know 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Those are 5 8s. So I can go 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. That doesn't give me 56. So I need to get another 8 in there. What if I add another 8? 40 plus 8 is 48. Not enough. What if I add another 8? 7 8s. 48 plus 8 is 56. Bingo. So I need 7 groups of 8 to be 56.